This is Jonathan Aguilar, fifth pro boxing fans, joined by journalist Dan Rafael. Dan, it was good spending the week with you in Las Vegas for the Manny Pacquiao fight. How's things been since then?
Been good. It was good to see you in person for a change instead of all these Zoom calls, right?
Yeah, it was, and yeah, it was a good week. You were telling me about launching your YouTube channel. Tell us a bit about that, how everything's going with that, as well as your Substack.
Oh, appreciate that. No, the YouTube channel is not launched. What it is my partner TJ Reeves, who I do the podcast with, who owns the and runs the website BigFightWeekend.com, had a had a YouTube channel that he created a while back that was sort of dormant, that just had just a handful of videos. And we decided that even though we're old guys, we're going to sort of get into. We're not necessarily. I don't think we're going to get to the level necessarily of like some of the bigger boxing YouTubes, but we can bring our experience and the things that we can do. And so we have a good time doing it. We put some of our material on there, my interviews that I've done go up there. We've done some live things after events that people seem to dig, like right after the shows are over. If I'm not at the fight, we do it. Even when we did you were there in the press room when I was at the Pacquiao fight. We were doing it when I was sitting there in the press room. So people like that immediate reaction. So we put our nostalgia segments up there so people can check that out. If they want to give it a follow or a subscription, that would be outstanding. I would appreciate it. And the
Uh,
Substack is what it is. You get all the news you can possibly handle. It blast out to your email. Go to danrayfield.substack.com and join the party.
Check out the links in the description. Dan, as you mentioned, big fight weekend. You had a big interview ahead of a big fight, September 13th, Canelo against Crawford. You interviewed Terence Crawford. Uh, I haven't, I admit, listened to it yet. I am planning on doing so, but give a rough overview of what was said and what did you get from him?
Terrence was really good, actually. I mean, I've interviewed Terence Crawford many, many times through the years, starting when he first had his very first fight on HBO years ago as a late replacement, and covered so many of his fights. And I can just tell by speaking to him for this fight, when I spoke to him, he was in his training camp in Colorado Springs, where he's getting ready for the fight against Canelo on September 13th. And he's very aware of the magnitude of the fight. And one of the things I came away from the interview with is, and you know this too because you've interviewed tons of fighters. Also, I've interviewed many fighters through the years where, for those of us that may cover it or just folks who are fans, whatever, like, oh, that's a huge fight, that's like a really big fight, and a lot of times the boxers downplay it to some degree, whether they're being for real or they're just kind of putting up a front. But they're like, hey, it's just another fight. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to win the fight, whatever. I was really excited that Terence Crawford, when we were going through some of the historical things that could take place if he wins this fight, what they would mean. And at the end of that part of the conversation, he says, there's a lot riding on this fight. Like, he knows it. I don't think he feels pressure from it. I think he embraces that. But I like to hear that the fighter understands the magnitude of this fight and embraces that, and realizes, like the general public that follows boxing or the media, that this is a bigger deal than your average fight, and that he is keenly aware of that. So I love that. He was very, very well spoken, and we discussed a lot of different topics. And I think people will get a kick out of it. It's on our podcast feed. It'll be up on the YouTube channel, and I hope people check it out.
Sticking with Crawford, because I've spoken to a few guys in his team, and there seems to be this mindset where they really, really believe they're going to win this fight, and obviously every fighter that goes into any fight will believe they win this fight. But do you get that impression that they're in no doubt that this goes their way, and it's a case of just turning up for a payday?
Oh, absolutely. Terence Crawford has never been the kind of fighter that's just looking to take a fight to get paid. Yeah, he's going to get paid a whole ton of money, and so is Canelo Alvarez. But, if you follow Terence Crawford, if you've watched the way he fights, watch the way he conducts himself, know him at all, even just a little bit, I can't claim to be like best buddies with him, but I got a pretty good feel for Crawford, having been around him so many times for all these fights he's had. There is 0.000% chance that he is coming into this fight with anything other than victory in mind. I mean, he really believes that this is his moment to shine and create a huge addition to what's already a tremendous boxing legacy. Besides just the money, I mean, Terence Crawford can take a fight against anybody, make a good amount of money. And so while that's important, of course, no, he absolutely believes he's winning this fight. No question about it.
Circling back to when we were in Vegas, obviously we were watching the Usyk Dubois fight in the press room. since then, there's been a lot of talk about this pre-fight pie that apparently Daniel Dubois had, and he turned up late to the arena and things like that. Do you think too much is being put on that, or do you feel like there is a right to be talking about that and saying how it couldn't have affected him?
Well, I mean, if it's accurate that he did in fact do that and have a party and turn up late to the arena, then yeah, you can. That's absolutely that's fair game, because that just means if you actually did that, it was a terrible miscalculation. It was bad advice from your team. It was bad planning on your part, because at the end of the day, your team can tell you and say whatever they want, but you're an adult and you have to be responsible for your actions. And the only one that it hurt was you, if that is going to have an impact on your performance. I mean, I didn't think that he could perform worse than he did in the first fight, because putting aside whatever controversy there was about the supposed low blow that I feel and many others feel was absolutely a low blow and not a legal punch, but put that to the side, he got totally dominated and lost every second of every round and then quit in the fight. Now, I was very supportive of him getting the rematch with Usyk for the fact that, not just because it was going to be for undisputed, but because he had done the job in the 3 fights he had after that situation. He didn't just take a year and a half off and pop up and knock out a couple of nobodies and then say I want the undisputed fight. He went in there and he did the job against 3 quality guys and got stoppages against Gerald Miller, against Filip Hrgovic, and of course the spectacular knockout against Joshua. So he was in the fight properly, had earned the position to get that chance again. And he actually performed worse in the rematch, believe it or not, than he did in the first fight. He lost every round and he got clean stopped much earlier than he did in that fight. So if he had a big party before the fight, in the hours leading up to it, and just was not paying attention to the particulars, and it's really kind of shocking if it was in fact accurate, because this is not a guy that's in like his 10th fight. I mean, this is a seasoned professional at this point who's been in big events, who's fought on the biggest stages possible. And so if he did that, then frankly, he's just an idiot.
Mm.
And shame on his team, because again, I understand he's got to be responsible, but you also have people in place, whether it's your manager, whether it's your advisor, your if it's his father, whoever it may be. You can't be doing stupid shit like that.
Just a couple other things to ask you about. Probably came as no surprise when you heard that Tyson Fury decided to make a U-turn on retiring. I don't know if he's being serious. I don't know what's going on, but your gut feeling, does he return?
Of course. I mean, it's such a joke at this point. It's like you can't take him seriously. I mean, it's like the boy who cried wolf. I mean, look, if he wants to retire, wonderful. Enjoy your retirement. You had a great career. You made a lot of fans. You made a lot of big fights. You made a lot of money. You brought a lot of interest and fun to the sport. And go walk off into the sunset. You got your health. You got your wealth. All good. If you're going to come back, by all means, come back. You're still a good heavyweight. You still can make some noise. You can still beat a lot of guys. You can still make a lot of fun events. But stop with the nonsense with the yo-yo. Yes, I'm in, I'm out. I mean, it's like it's a fucking soap opera already. So if he says he's retired again, I mean, I don't believe it. I didn't believe it when he said he wasn't. I didn't believe it when he said he was retired the first time. It seemed pretty obvious when he decided he was going to exit retirement that was inevitable. And if he says he's retired again, he'll wake up maybe the next, few days and change his mind once again. But to me, it gets to a certain point, you're like, it's like just noise at this point.